Welcome aboard Japan Airlines First Class. Today, I'll be hopping on board a JAL 777 as we fly from Sydney, Australia to their hub at Tokyo Haneda. We will explore the comfort, service and dining to see if it lives up to its hype. And stick around till the end where I'll show you how I booked this entire journey for just around 400 Australian dollars. Welcome to Sydney Airport. Today is a fun day. We're going to be trying Japan Airlines in first class. I'm really looking forward to this. Join me on this flight. Japan Airlines operates flights to just Melbourne and Sydney in Australia. And it's only their morning flight out of Sydney that has a first class cabin. This meant a very early start for me in Melbourne as I had to take the 5:25 AM domestic flight to Sydney. The morning view over the Sydney harbour did make the early start worthwhile. Since I had booked these flights separately, I had to pick up my bags at Sydney Airport and hop on the airport train to the international terminal. Luckily for me, the check-in area was nearly empty by the time I arrived, so I quickly made my way through the JAL's red carpet first class check-in. JAL includes 3 bags up to 32 kgs as part of checked baggage allowance. Sydney Airport also provides priority security screening for first and business class passengers, which saved me a bit of time to check out the lounge for the day. And that would be the Qantas First Class Lounge. This is often considered as the best lounge in Sydney, if not all of Australia. The lounge features visually striking architecture, panoramic tarmac views, an a la carte menu, and a spa. The treatments offered at the spa are 20 minutes each and 4 options are offered, but the spots get snapped up very quickly. So I settled in for a light breakfast and enjoyed the ambience. I also get a chance to check out my aircraft for the day, which is this Boeing 777-300. It's time to go and catch this flight, JAL 52 to Tokyo Haneda. Boarding began promptly 25 minutes before departure and was organized in groups. Alright, here we go. This is exciting. Let's take a quick look at the seat layout on the JAL Boeing 777, which makes up 12 aircraft in the airline's fleet. They carry up to 244 passengers, and the first class is a rather private offering, with 8 seats in a 1-2-1 layout. I went for seat 1A, and one of the fun aspects about JAL seat selection was the ability to see where babies were seated.
Ohayou gozaimasu. How are you this morning?
Stepping on board, the JAL crew make an immediate positive impression with their hospitality and welcome.
Hajimemashite, bye.
While the first class seats on the 777 might not be as advanced as JAL's newer A350 product, they still feel spacious and fresh. The layout is similar to what we had experienced on Qatar's A380, but it seems to offer a little bit more privacy. The seat itself is quite wide, measuring 58 cm across. On the opposite side, there was a big 23-inch TV screen and an ottoman, which comes with its own seatbelt for dining with a partner perhaps. And underneath the ottoman, there is adequate room for storing all your hand carry items, which kind of makes the overhead bins somewhat redundant. The seat comes with an abundance of amenities. It's just given me so many things here, like there is a headphone, water bottle, some men's essentials from Sashida, another amenity kit, and some slippers I think. This big menu which we'll check out a bit later. Taking a look around the seat, we have 2 sets of adjustable reading lights and 3 storage boxes. The larger one was perfect for putting away all the items that I had just collected. The medium-sized compartment contains the functional TV remote as well as a mirror, and the last one in the front contains the USB and power sockets. To kick off this 10-hour journey, I was offered a glass of the 2012 Bilkat Samon champagne and a refreshing hot towel, a perfect way to kickstart the journey.
Welcome on board. Thank you.
Right, it's time to change into the pajamas.
JAL does provide pajamas in first class, though you need to request them, and I made sure to do just that.
Pretty nice and comfy. A little bit on the bigger side, maybe I should have gone for a small. Really like the texture on them.
Having flown Emirates and Qatar before in first class, I was spoiled by their bathroom offerings. However, it must be noted that this is a 777 aircraft, and even Emirates 777 bathrooms are quite a bit of a step down from the A380s. It must also be noted that there is something that neither of them offer, but JAL offers even in their economy class. Back at my seat, it was almost breakfast time, and so I took a read through this extensive menu. First up, we have the wine and beverage list, and here's a quick peek at the offerings. Note that some of the options, including the much raved about salon, are only offered on flights out of Japan. Let's shift our focus over to the food menu, which, as always, offers two distinct options. First up for breakfast, we have the choice of either the Japanese 7-course menu or the Western menu. Additionally, there is an a la carte menu that includes items like caviar that could be ordered throughout the flight. It was a very bumpy flight, so I apologize in advance for some shaky footage. After taking a long hard look at the menu, I decided to go for the Japanese option, which starts off with the kozara, or an appetizer plate, which is an assortment of various dishes, not too dissimilar to a bento box. While all the items served were very nice, I must say the individual small bowls make the presentation a bit strange compared to the colorful offering that I've experienced before in JAL Business Class. Next up, it was soup time, and here is the Japanese soup, which came with mushroom and scallop cake, a very nice combination. The meal service continued with the third and fourth courses, which were served together. On the left, we have the sea urchin dish. I've never had sea urchin before, but it was surprisingly good. And the accompanying jellied eggplant and salmon were quite delicious too. It was finally time for the main course, and since I don't eat beef, I was offered the sea bass from the international menu, which was pretty impressive. We're not quite done yet, as the 6th course rolled through, consisting of mushroom rice, accompanied by miso soup and pickles on the side. At this point, I was feeling pretty full, and thankfully the portions offered were just right. Finally, to round off this meal, I indulged in some dessert, which in this case was a traditional Japanese jelly and a cookie. A serving of matcha was a perfect end to an extensive meal offering. Despite my initial thought about the appetizer, JAL really impressed me with their beautiful crockery and presentation on rest of their courses. It is safe to say I've never had this type of dining experience, let alone on a plane. The very early start meant that I was keen to catch some sleep, and of course the seat reclines into a fully flat bed, a rather wide one in fact. JAL even offers mattress choices, and I went for the firmer option. The bed was quite long and probably one of the best I've experienced in the sky so far. However, it was a very turbulent flight and I didn't have much sleep. So I took the time to check out the in-flight entertainment instead, which was the biggest letdown of this flight. The TV needs to be controlled by a remote, which is a touchscreen but not the most responsive kind. Despite the 23-inch screen, you can only browse the catalog via the remote, which is a bit clumsy at times. I do understand that this is a rather old product and JAL's new A350 First Class comes with all the latest bells and whistles. Thankfully, in-flight Wi-Fi was available and complimentary for first class via provided promo code. I couldn't get an internet speed test to run, but it was quite reasonable for browsing. There was a lot of literature on the seat if you preferred reading, including about the seat itself. After a little while, I took a peek at the snack menu and remembered that there was a caviar option. So of course I decided to try this out.
Is it even first class if you're not having caviar on flight?
Served with the mother of pearl spoon and cheese. Salty as usual, but an acquired taste and a must-do anyway. Let's take a look at the goodies provided by JAL on this flight. There are two parts to the Amenity Kit. First up, we have the bigger common kit from Boney, a Japanese brand. I have to say, this is a pretty loaded kit, stacked with all sorts of items that you need. Alongside this kit, I was also provided the men's essentials from another Japanese brand, Shiseido. As long as I don't make the comparison to the lavish amenities provided by Emirates, I would be pretty happy with this offering. About 90 minutes to landing, the final meal was offered. I continued with the Japanese steam and chose the chicken stuffed cabbage, served with rice and pickles. Again, the meal was impressive and so was the crockery. And so, this 10-hour trip to Tokyo was coming to a close. As we began our descent into Tokyo, I took a moment to reflect on this experience. Well, for a start, JAL offers, in my opinion, one of the best dining experiences in premium cabins, and this was no different. The meals and all the colorful presentation, as well as the immaculate onboard service, all elevated the dining experience. The seat might be old but feels fresh and is still one of the best products in the sky. The biggest letdown was the in-flight entertainment, which is possibly due to the older aircraft. While JAL may not have the bling of Middle Eastern airlines such as fancy bathrooms, closing doors and lavish amenity kits, it still offers a very private experience and one I would aspire for as a first-time first-class flyer. However, if I was to save my points, JAL Business Class ticks most of the boxes and is the perfect sweet spot.
The time here is now 4:31:39. Your crew would like to thank you for flying with Japan Airlines, members of the Worldwide Alliance on this code-share flight. ありがとうございます。Thank you.
ありがとうございます。
I used the Qantas Frequent Flyer program and took advantage of their one-world partnership with Japan Airlines to book this flight. JAL tends to release last-minute award seats about 2 weeks before the flight. The cost in points was $129,000, but it did come with a hefty surcharge of $410, which I think was worth it in the end. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on my next travel adventure.